All right, we in here, man. Welcome to the show, Urban AI, late night show or early morning. Early morning, should I say? It's about 2 a.m. We still finna get it popping though. You know what? Cause I'm seeing a lot of things online, and I feel like a lot of people are confused. All right, shit. Even myself. I'm hearing people say that Lil Woody is helping the cause now. And yeah, by the way, we just getting right into it with this live. Now, in the previous the part one I did, y'all can go check that out. In the part one that I did on the YSL trial, I spoke about how Lil Woody was getting on the stand and people were congratulating him and things of that nature. Now, people can have whatever opinion they want. That's fine. Everybody have an opinion. Everybody don't agree with my opinion. I don't agree with everybody else's opinion. But if for people to say that he was helping is a little bit misleading, I feel. And I'm going to get into why specifically. But I will say this. We won't know for sure until the trial is over. All right. Until we see how much time Thug gets, it's really no concrete way to go about anything concerning this man. You know what I'm saying? Lil Woody. Can you call him a snitch or a rat or whatever? Technically, yes, you can, because he's told in the past. Now, moving forward after this, if Thug gets off or if he gets a lighter sentence or if the majority of these charges don't stick, Lil Woody will be looked at differently. Again, I stated it in the video before. He's told a lot already. Now, was he playing a game? Was he playing a mind game with the cops? Was he being a mastermind? Was he tricking the police? Was this man outsmarting the police? Listen, now let me just say this. We know it's possible. We know it's criminals who do shit like that all the time. Not all the time. Not all the time. Let me not say that like it's a normal occurrence. However, there is cases of that where people are able to manipulate situations. You know, this is the thing about a person like Lil Woody, man. He may not be extremely book smart, but this is somebody who has a high level of street smarts. You know what I'm saying? And he's had so many encounters with the police that he knows what to say to them. He knows how to buy himself time. He knows how to tell them something. You know, and people like that, you know what they're good at? People like that are good at telling half truths. And you're going to see that's what he does a lot to the police. He probably does this to other people in his life because he's so good at it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not judging his character. I don't know him. I'm not judging his character as a man. However, this is a strategic thinking media platform, and he's part of a high-profile case. That's national news. So I can judge him as a criminal because that's the majority of the information that I know about him. That's why he's famous, because he's in court about crimes that he could have possibly committed. You know, everything's alleged. So that's that. Now, the video that we're about to get to is basically what people are saying is the genius shit that he's doing. again, we don't know if this is genius or not until we find out if the jury bought it. If the jury bought it, if the judge bought it, is it genius? This man seemingly has told police that, and we're gonna get into the video. I'm gonna show everything that's backing up what I'm saying. But this is kind of how he played it, just to give you a quick snapshot before we get into the video so you can know what to listen for. He was able to tell the police that, you know, he got beef with people for working with them. So he's working with the police. So he's telling the police that he got beef with people. So the police is giving him leeway because his life is in danger because he's telling. But he's also telling strategically. He's lying a little bit. So he kind of sending the police on wild goose chases a little bit. You know what I'm saying? He's giving them information that is partially right. So, or he'll tell the truth sometime and he'll lie other times. So there will be situations where when he says something to the police, because they've built a rapport, they will let him go. And he'll get him, they'll arrest him, they'll apprehend him, they'll have him in custody. He'll say something and they'll let him go. They'll change the charge probably right there on the spot or something like that. Now, is this smart? I don't know. He's still alive, which there's been attempts on his life, and he gonna get into that, which most people who tell that are in gangs, there are attempts on their life. Now, if you tell on one person, that's a little bit different. But when you're in a gang and you telling, you're implicating a whole lot of people. Now, as far, you know, before I get into Donovan Nut Thomas, I want to say this. Rest in peace to that man. You know, my condolences to the family. You know, I'm pretty sure he had kids. Obviously, you got a family. And when street shit like this happen, yes, it's just a story for us. But when things like this happen and people die in the streets like this with gang violence, you know, his family remembers this continuously. We're gonna talk about this and we're gonna move on. You feel me? But that's not the case for his family, for his parents, for his children, for the people that loved him. So before we even speak on him, I just want to say that this is real. This is real shit. Obviously, it's entertainment. This is a strategic thinking media platform. And you know what I'm saying? I'm doing something that I love by discussing hip hop and things of that nature. But it is a very real situation now. Concerning his death, that was another reason Lil Woody was able to get a little bit of leeway with the police, because the streets of Atlanta thought he had something to do with the murder of Donovan Thomas. We're gonna get into that. But let me let y'all hear what he's about to say now in court regarding his testimonies in the past. So in the past, when he was doing the strategic telling, this is what he got to say about it.
Okay, let me make myself clear, right? Because you keep asking me about things I done told investigators in the past.
So things I done told investigators in the past. So he telling you right there, I've been telling a lot.
From, I can't say from when to when, but so much was going on. My name was on everything. The police kept coming to grab me. Every time they grabbed me, I had a different story for them. I know 100% facts, and I'm telling you now, I was not truthful.
Okay, there you go right there. He telling them, I lied to the police. I wasn't truthful in the investigations. So when it was shootouts, when bodies was dropping, the police was coming to him. Now, a lot of people think in the street culture, when things like that happen, and this was probably the optics for YSL, when shit in the street was happening and the police was coming to him, yes, they was coming to him because he was a shooter. He was a tough guy in the streets. But they was also coming to him because he was giving them information. He was telling. So they was coming to him even if they didn't think he was the person who did the shooting. If it's a high profile murder and they have some other shit on him, they could simply say, hey, Woody, we got you for this gun. We got you for this shooting. We got you for this assault. We got you for this attempted murder, whatever the case may be. If you tell us who killed X, Y, and Z, we'll make one of these charges go away. Or they'll come to him and say, hey, you know people saying you did this. So if you tell us who did it, you know what I'm saying? Then we'll go apprehend them and get some heat off of your back. They're not talking to people like this who don't cooperate with them. So that's why he has a rapport with the police to begin with. All right.
I was saying whatever they wanted me to say. I was saying whatever I could come up with. I was trying my best to convince them that I didn't do nothing, that I'm an innocent person, and that people put their hands on me. When they ask me about any of these things, you sitting here keep asking me step by step by step by step. And I'm telling you now, because you asked me, was I being truthful? Okay. I know I wasn't being truthful.
So is your testimony today that you lied in every interview that you did in 2015?
See, you the way you asking that, I don't recall what I was saying in the interviews, but I'm telling you now, when they was questioning me 2015, 14, whenever they was questioning me, I was lying. I was making up stories. So when they were asking me about this right here, I was making it up. When they were asking me about this right here, I was making it up.
Look, he said, okay, this is the thing right here. I was making it up. I was making it up. I was making it up. Y'all let me know. Do y'all believe him? Get in the comments. Let me know. This is it right here. This is what people are saying makes him the stand-up dude who's keeping it real. Now, me, I don't know. I feel like we won't be able to tell until it's not up for us. Who cares what we believe? That's what I'm trying to say. It's up for the jury to decide if he's convincing enough. It doesn't matter what we think. It only matters what the jury thinks. Now, is this intentional? Is he doing this to take the heat back off of Thug? Or is he just being honest and being truthful? Was he being truthful back then, or was he really lying back then? And these are things that went on around 2015. So this is a long time ago. But still.
And when they was getting me and they would let me go, I'm just telling you.
Do you recall telling every detective?
Every time they got me, I have told the police, I tell y'all whatever y'all want to hear, just let me go.
Do you recall telling every detective in every interview, you got to believe me, I'm telling y'all the truth?
Now, that was what she's saying right there. She's asking him questions, waiting for him to lie, and then going back to the transcripts of him telling and saying, okay, you saying this now, but do you remember saying this back in 2025? Because listen, y'all, everything that they're asking him about, 95% of the things that they're asking him, he's already told. He's already said it. That's what you got to understand. And a lot of it is videotaped of him saying it. So this is why the title is what it is. Is he a mastermind or a master splinter? Because this can't go both ways. He's doing something either incredibly strategic or it's something that's going to end up hurting him and Young Thug more than before, probably. I just want to know y'all's opinion. I'm one man, and we're going to get to the co-pilot, the AI, in a minute. Actually, let's get into that now real quick. Let's get into that now. Okay, so we seen a lot going on. We seen a lot going on. We seen a lot going on with this case. All right, it's some things going on with Donovan Nut Thomas as we talked about. This was one of the things that they were trying to bring up. The hit on Donovan Thomas. They're saying Young Thug was a part of it, or Young Thug ordered the hit. Let's see what Microsoft Copilot got to say about that.
Kenneth Lil Woody
Okay, not that. Because I don't think some of this information is wrong. I don't think he admitted to that. Okay, no, they're saying that he admitted that in the secret meeting. They're saying he admitted that in the secret meeting. That's all hearsay.
During the Young Thug / YSL RICO trial in Fulton County, witness Kenneth Lil Woody Copeland admitted to killing Donovan Nut Thomas Jr. The conversation, which involved the judge, prosecutors, and Copeland, reportedly included this revelation.
Now that's all hearsay. In the last live I did, I spoke about a secret meeting between the prosecutor, the judge, and Lil Woody, Kenneth Copeland. That was the main thing discussed in the meeting. Now, that's all hearsay. I don't even know if Brian still said that. I got that from a trusted source. And that seems to be what other people are saying, but there's no proof of that. There's never going to be any proof of what was going on in that secret meeting or what was said. The fact that they had the meeting is the bad part. So whatever was discussed in there, nobody's ever going to know. Nobody's ever going to know. All right, so we got some stuff about Fannie Willis that we got to go over too. So there's technically no actual shooter for the Donovan Thomas murder. Now, the reason I'm bringing that up is because that's one of the things people feel like the police know because of Lil Woody. That's information that he gave up. Him renting the car or him overseeing, I guess Young Thug rented the car or told Lil Woody to rent the car. Or he, I guess, overseen the operation or whatever. Because the police don't even, when you really look at that case, they're charging people with connection to the murder. And they're specifically using that word. When somebody's guilty of murder, they say they're guilty of murder. The two shooters, I know one was allegedly Shannon Stillwell. I forgot the other one's name. We'll get to that in the next video, and we'll dive deeper into it because it's not really about, this video specifically is not about those two people. But we'll get into that. But a lot of people feel like that information was given by Lil Woody. And it's interesting that it's like a half story, basically, which fits the shit he been doing. Telling, like, giving a little bit of information, giving a little bit of information here and there. So here's just a little bit about Nut and his passing.
Certainly. Donovan Thomas Jr., known as Nut, was a rapper and street figure. His life was tragically cut short when he was fatally shot outside a barbershop in Atlanta on January 10, 2015. Thomas was associated with Young Thug and was named in the rapper's indictment related to street gang activity and conspiring to violate the RICO Act. Unfortunately, there isn't much additional information available about his life beyond these events. If you have any other questions or need further assistance, feel free to ask.
Now, it's not a lot of information about this. Even when you look it up on Google and older search engines, it's not a whole lot of information, man. The police, they know the people involved, which was probably or allegedly Lil Woody, Young Thug, the guy Shannon Stillwell, and a second person. Or, you know, a fourth person. But him and Shannon, I guess, are the alleged. All this is alleged because the trial is still going on. All this is alleged. I don't know. I don't know no crimes that nobody committed ever. All I'm speaking on is the crimes that people commit that are on public forums and are in the news that anybody can watch on their TV and see. All right, so let's get back to YouTube. I want to get into something else real quick. Another video. Or hold on, let's keep going with this one.
Okay. That sound like me.
Do you recall telling every detective in every interview that you can go fact check what I'm telling you?
Say that again?
Sure. Do you recall?
All right, do y'all see what she did right there? She's trying to trip him up. He's saying, oh, I be lying to all these police. She's trying to say, well, you told him that you can fact check everything that I tell you. That's why he said, say that again. He's trying to buy time to think of something. I can't tell if he's telling the truth or now or if he was telling the truth back then. He's good. He's good. Most criminals are good at speaking about crimes. They know how to word things.
I tell y'all whatever y'all want to hear, just let me go.
Do you recall telling every detective in every interview, you got to believe me, I'm telling y'all the truth? Okay.
That sound like me.
Do you recall telling every detective in every interview that you can go fact check what I'm telling you?
Say that again?
Sure. Do you recall telling every detective in every interview that you had in 2015, you can go check what I'm saying so you can believe me?
Probably. I don't know if I said it or I ain't said it.
In some of those interviews, were you in custody? Were you arrested in some of those interviews?
I think.
Now, she just said, were you arrested in some of those interviews? She's setting up a question that don't seem like, you know, a super deep question. Were you arrested in some of those interviews? It is. She's setting up for other questions that's going to kind of put him in a corner. So keep listening.
So.
Okay. Do you recall telling detectives in those interviews that you're just trying to get out of jail? So I'm going to tell you all what happened so you can check it and I can get out of jail.
Boom. Y'all heard that? So you can check it and I can get out of jail. That's why she asked him, were you arrested? Cause guess what that means? That means if you were arrested and you gave them information and then you were released, that means what you told them was the truth and they fact checked it and then they released you. So that means you were telling the police the truth.
Yeah, I told the investigators that I remember, I think in one of the interviews, they was locking me up and my child's birthday was coming up. And when they got me, I said, listen, man, whatever y'all want me to say, I would tell you right now. Just tell me what to say, and I would say it. Tell me what y'all want to know, and I would tell you. So if they would have asked me about President Trump, I would have had a story about Trump. If they would ask me about you, I would have had a story about you. Whatever to convince them that I ain't do nothing, it wasn't me. That's what my intention was. So
now here we go. This is the Mastermind and Master Splinter thing. Is he lying then, or was he lying? Was he lying then, or is he lying now? Was he telling the truth then and lying now? Was he lying then and telling the truth now?
you're asking me about interviews, and I keep telling you, you keep asking me step by 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 step. This is what I did. When they got me on this day and I was going to jail, I try to come up with something to tell them. That's why I can't tell you what I said. I was making it up.
What?
That's a big part of the case, man. This is deep what's going on here. Because when you have people flip-flopping like this, it throws the jury, it throws the whole case into confusion. Because you don't know if he's being coerced to do this. You don't know if the judge is in on it. If Thug is in on it, you don't know.
Benefit would it be for you to lie to the police if you were trying not to be in trouble?
I was hoping to convince them so they could let me go.
So why would you lie to convince them?
Do y'all see how she's painting him into a corner? She's trying to make it look like he was telling the truth back then. That's the point of what she's trying to do. He's trying to cast doubt to the jury that he was completely honest, because they got an interview with this nigga talking to the police for 9 hours. 9 fucking hours. I've never talked to nobody for 9 hours in my entire life. I've probably never talked to nobody for more than 3 hours in my entire life. At one time. Not without taking a break, stopping, leaving, coming back. But to sit and have a conversation for 9 hours in one confined space, that means you're telling a lot of shit. That means you're talking a lot. That means the prosecution got a lot of shit they could say about what you said because you were in YSL. So it's going to incriminate YSL. So he's trying to make it seem like those 9 hours, all that shit could be lies. The prosecution is trying to make it seem like, nah, it's the truth. You're lying now.
What you mean? Why would I lie to convince them?
Right. Why would you lie to convince them if you wanted to not go to jail?
Why would I lie to convince them to not go to jail?
Right.
But they don't know that I'm lying.
Well, they didn't let you go immediately, did they?
Sometimes they let me go.
Right.
See, there you go. Even she kind of trapped him a little bit, but he said, sometime they let me go. Y'all see that setup? She said, they let you go, right? And he said, sometime they let me go. That was what she was trying to do when she asked, were you arrested? She was trying to get him to say yes so she could say, oh, well, they let you go. So you told the truth.
What you mean? Why would I lie to convince them?
Right. Why would you lie to convince them if you wanted to not go to jail?
Why would I lie to convince them to not go to jail?
Right.
But they don't know that I'm lying.
Well, they didn't let you go immediately, did they?
Sometimes they let me go.
Right. But
So when the time they let me go, I thought I was smarter than them.
Did the detective say that they had to fact check what you said before they let you go?
Can you say that again?
Sure. Did the detectives tell?
See, can you say that again? If he said no, they didn't have to fact check, that would probably look like he's lying. If he said yes straight out, that would look like he's telling the truth. So let's see how he about to answer this.
Tell you that they had to fact check what you were telling them.
And you know, in certain situations.
Right.
Again, in certain situations, he's always giving himself leeway to change the story depending on what she says. It's a chess game. He's not really saying yes or no. He's basically saying, well, every situation was different.
And so what benefit would it be to lie if they told you that they had to fact check it?
Oh, it was no benefit because what they did was they picked and choose what they wanted to take from me, and they still left me in jail. So they came back and beat me in the butt.
Now, he's trying to make it seem like he a victim, but he's really not. When he said they pick and choose what they want to take from me, he covering himself by saying that. So if she asks him, well, what instance, he can just say whatever he wants. So he's saying, well, they believe some of it, but some of it they didn't. Again, being really vague, being really broad. When you answer a question like that, whoever you're talking to, they have to ask more questions because of that. So that gives you more time to be able to say more of whatever you feel like you need to say to get up out the situation.
Okay. So going back to my question from January 28th, 2015, did you see Pokey at the club?
You want me?
Now you see, he getting frustrated, he getting upset because he's really not getting up out of it how he want to. But she hasn't really pinned him either. She's just more calm and more relaxed than he is.
To be honest with you, I think I just did. I just told you the God honest truth of what I did from January from 2014 until 2021. Every time they got me, they already know me. They already know I got a whole bunch of bullshit to say.
I'm gonna ask you to refrain from cursing. What?
Oh, sorry, everybody. No disrespect. I'm sorry about that. But
overruled, sir. Overruled, sir.
What harm would have come from telling the truth about you and your friends?
Can you explain it?
Sure. What harm? Why would you need to lie if you were just trying to tell them about what you and your friends were doing?
What?
I sustain the objection.
All right, do y'all hear that voice back there? That's Brian Steele. He is certain information and certain things that he don't want to come out about YSL, period. So anytime it's heading down that road, you gonna hear him chime in, and he know what the fuck is going on. He know what clauses to state. He know what sections of whatever laws to cite before he calls an objection. So he's on it, and you can tell him and the judge are kind of going back and forth. And that's going on throughout this whole trial. It's going on throughout this whole case.
Going back to the January 28th interview, understanding that you said you lied, did you tell Detective Gaither that you saw Pokey in Club Crucial on the Monday night where Kel knocked you in the back of the head?
I don't recall what I said.
Do you know who Pokey is?
Yes, I do.
Who is Pokey?
A friend.
Of who?
Me.
Okay. Is Pokey related to anyone?
What you mean?
Is Pokey related to Thug?
Is he related to Doug?
Yes, sir.
He may. I can't. He might be.
Have you previously told police that Pokey is Thug's nephew?
Well, if I did, then I guess he is.
Okay, you see that there? She did it again, and she's gonna continue to do this. This is why again, it's hard to tell if he's a mastermind or cooperating with the, or if he has cooperated too much, because clearly he's trying to give some resistance now. That's clear. He's trying to give some resistance now and kind of walk back what he said. But when things like this happen, when she asked him a question and he say, I don't know, and then she say, well, in 2015, when you said A, B, and C, when she says that, then it's kind of just reiterating the fact that you cooperated before. Now, which way will people believe? That's the thing.
Since you're saying that everything is a lie in all of these interviews, in January 28th, did you tell Detective Gaither and Detective Guinness on the same Monday at Crucial that you walked to the kitchen and everyone was looking back and everybody was walking behind you?
Can you say that again?
Sure. Did you tell Detective Gaither on that did you tell Detective Gaither in that January 28th interview that while you were at Club Crucial, that you walked towards the kitchen, you looked back and you saw everybody walking behind you?
I don't recall what I told investigator, detective, whichever one.
Okay, now let's get into this other one. But before we do that, let me say this. This is a guy who was he was definitely in a situation because he had people who he told on trying to kill him, and he had his enemies trying to kill him. And there was truth to that. So the police did have to handle the situation accordingly. They did have to handle the situation accordingly because that's the type of situation that he was in. People who he was once friends with, who he had caught cases with, they was after him, and enemies was after him. Other enemies and the enemies who believed that he had something to do with the murder of Nut. So yeah, he was somebody who was a high profile witness for a lot of shit. And the Atlanta police use this dude a lot. You can tell they used him a lot. Whether they did it the right way, I mean, we'll see. I mean, I'm pretty sure they closed some cases in the past with his help, but will they close this one? We don't know. But take a listen to this here.
Were you concerned that Young Thug had washed his hands of you?
Huh?
Were you concerned because you have been speaking to police that Thug had washed his hands of you?
Now, she said, do you believe Thug washed his hands of you because you were speaking to police? This is where you have niggas around you turning against you once you tell. Okay, in my opinion, what she says he said back then, it sounds true. Let's take a listen.
No, I didn't eat Thug.
All right. Do you recall telling the detective in the same interview on February 20th, 2015, he asked you, so basically Young Thug washed his hands of you? And your response, yeah, because I came and talked to the detectives and them folks in the street saying I'm a snitch, I'm a snitch, I'm a snitch. Nobody don't want to hang around me. I called my partners. They don't want to hang around me. It's like, what the hell? What the hell all this come from? What the hell is going on? Do you recall telling the police that?
The police were so concerned about Thug, I was removing myself from him.
Okay, now, there you go right there. Another one. That right there. Let me play it again. Let me play that again. Listen to how he answers this question.
15. He asked you, so basically Young Thug washed his hands of you? And your response, yeah, because I came and talked to the detectives and them folks in the street saying I'm a snitch, I'm a snitch, I'm a snitch. Nobody don't want to hang around me. I called my partners. They don't want to hang around me. It's like, what the hell? What the hell all this come from? What the hell is going on? Do you recall telling the police that?
The police were so concerned about Thug, I was removing myself from him.
So he trying to say the police, I just said that so I could separate myself from Young Thug. I was creating a reason to separate myself from Young Thug. So I said YSL and Young Thug wasn't hanging around me because I'm talking to y'all police. Now, this works two ways. It could be a mastermind move, y'all. Possibly. This works in his favor two ways. The number one thing it does is it gives him a reason to separate himself from YSL. It gives him a reason to separate himself from YSL. That's number one. The number two thing it does is gives police incentive to show him special treatment because his life could potentially be in danger. And by special treatment, I mean relocation, not witness protection now. Of course, he's not getting witness protection now. Definitely not after how he's doing on the stand. But at that time, that could have been a possibility. Anything that they could do to keep him alive, depending on how bad they wanted Thug. So if the police want Thug very badly, and this dude is saying, Thug don't mess with me no more. My own people trying to kill me. People love Thug so much that they'll kill me. The police are going to want to keep him alive so he can get on the stand like what he's doing now.
Do you recall at all talking to this detective about what happened that Monday night at Club Crucial with you and Kel, the fight between you and Kel?
I don't recall nothing specific that me and him talk about outside of the shooting with my child. And I barely remember some of that stuff. You talking about some years ago when I don't even know what I did 3-4 days ago. Like,
Come on now, bro. Most people know what they did 3-4 days ago. I get it. What he's trying to do is just make it seem like his memory is so bad. And yeah, he's right. This was 2015. This was 9 years ago. So it's hard to remember small details about things that happened 9 years ago. He's right about that. But still, he's trying to make it seem like, he just has this horrible memory.
Do you recall telling your girlfriend, again, when the two of you were alone in the room, no matter which way it go, I'm going to lose anyway if I tell them that Tay did it? You recall having that conversation with your girlfriend?
Did you say it again?
Sure. Do you recall being alone in that same interview room with your girlfriend and you told her, no matter which way it go, I'm going to lose anyway if I tell them that Tay did it?
Okay, now you see what she doing right there? She bringing up, that's what she said, alone in the room with your girlfriend. She probably setting that up to say, now you might lie to the police, but you're not going to lie to your girlfriend. We recorded what you said to your girlfriend in the room. So we understand strategically lying to the police, but you're probably not going to lie to your girl.
On my child life, once again, on Izari life, I never seen no one face that was in that car shoot at me. At any time, if they got the car, to this point, I never knew who shot at me. So when that detective was asking me, I just had to come up with something. I got no reason to lie about it. I didn't see nobody who shot at me. So y'all going back into the interrogation when I'm telling you the truth. I don't know who shot at me. I have told them I didn't know. When they're gonna keep asking me, make me know, okay, cool. I'm gonna say, I'm done.
Do you recall being hesitant in the February 21st interview? And we're going to get to that interview with Detective Gaither when she showed you a photographic lineup and you actually eventually pointed Tate out of a photographic lineup.
Because I know Gaten. I mean, I know Gaten. I know that, I mean, she one of them people that she got it out for me. So I didn't care. I was just trying to get it out. I get them out for me. And
Okay, so he pointed out somebody in the lineup. He pointed out somebody who shot at him in a lineup. And I spoke on that in the previous video of how he was telling on his enemies. That's telling. It don't matter why he did it. If I get in a shootout with somebody, or I shoot somebody, or somebody shoot me, and I tell, that's telling. If I was doing something illegal, if I'm in a gang, if I'm doing any type of illegal activity, and guns are discharged, and you tell and you give a statement, you're telling. Bottom line, when people are part of shootings, whether you the victim or the shooter, you're if because he was a victim in this. Now he said he shot back, but he was a victim in this. It was a shooting. It was him in the car with his child. If you're a victim of a shooting, the police ask you right then and there, whether you're in the hospital or whatever, on the scene, who did it, and they're gonna keep up with you throughout the days. They're gonna try to get you to tell. You can say, I want to close the case. You don't have to tell. I don't know who shot me. I want to close the case. Now, he's saying that wasn't an option for him because that particular police officer wanted it out for him. So that wouldn't have been good enough for her. That's what he's saying. So he basically saying he had to tell, he had to say it was somebody.
trying to convince her. And trying to convince her is very hard to do. So I had to go through with it. Even though in my heart, I knew that he didn't shoot at me, or he would have never shot at me.
See, there you go. Was he lying then? Is he lying now?
And to be more clear on it, before I went back to jail the last time, I was right around him. So I would never be with nobody that I believe shot at me while I had my child.
Why did you say Tate did it versus anyone else?
First thing came to my mind.
Why was Tate the first person that came to your mind versus anyone else?
Because in the midst of trying to convince the police so they could leave me alone, I just got shot at. Only thing was in my mind was, get back.
Okay, but you had the beef with Kel. Why not say it was Kel?
Because I had to convince them. I gotta make it seem. If I say Kel shot me, they're gonna, how you know? How Kel know where you stay at? So I gotta come up with something to make them know. Okay, well, Tay been over here. You know what I mean? So okay, Tay. I don't know. Like, but listen, you keep asking me. I told you.
Hey, that sounds like somebody who lies to the police. How he said that, how he explained why he had to say Tate instead of Kel. That sounds like a veteran person who deals with law enforcement. That sounds like somebody who is used to talking around the police. Good or bad? Good or bad? Because we know in the criminal underworld, it's people who work with the police. Larry Davis was working with the police. Rest in peace to Larry Davis. He was selling drugs with the police. R.I.P. to him. I'm not saying he a snitch or nothing. I'm just saying we know street people and people in the criminal underworld work with the police. Because sometimes if you are hot enough, if you hot in the streets like this dude, shooting people in gangs, or if you making a whole lot of money, you're gonna run into the police. And there are some police in some cities, in some towns, in some areas that are more easily bought than others. Okay, so this may be evidence of that. He sound like somebody who lied to the police frequently.
I don't know who shot at me.
Why would Gaither have it out for you?
That would be speculation, sir. I sustain the objection.
Well, you said she had it out for you. What makes you think she had it out for you?
I'll let him answer that question. It's posed.
You said she had it out for you. What makes you think she had it out for you?
Because she was trying her best to get me. She was trying to catch me.
Didn't she advise you to leave town?
Now, y'all see, Brian still keeps objecting to everything he's saying. He don't want her to go down this road because this is going to show the close relationship that Woody had with the police. All right. And that's going to make it seem like they cared about him because he was helping them, which means what? He was giving them truthful information, okay? Truthful information, all right? We gonna leave this right here for now. All right, I think I might expand on this Lil Woody thing. It's other videos that I want to get into, other parts of his testimony that I want to get into, but we're gonna leave this right here for now. We 51 minutes in. Urban Artificial Intelligence Strategic Thinking Media Platform. Like, share, subscribe. 1,800 subscribers, over 2 million views. We going up, going live every night till I get 2,000 subscribers, or at least every other night. More than likely every night, but at least every other night until I get 2,000 subscribers. Thank you for watching. We're going live tomorrow too, man. Tomorrow morning we're going live. Got some Jordan news that I want to speak on. Got some other music stuff I want to talk about. So all the people watching this live, I appreciate you. All the people that's going to get it on the replay. Salute Urban AI, Strategic Thinking Media Platform, man. This is artificial intelligence for the hood, man. We making artificial intelligence our official intelligence, all right? I'm going to see y'all on the next one.